Here I present you The Art of Loving by Erich Fromm, the German version at least. It is a truly incredible book, and it has changed the way how I think about love, romance, and living with a partner. So I stumbled across this book by pure chance. I have never heard anything about Erich Fromm before, but I can tell you this man is an absolute legend. He is a psychologist and social philosophist. Um, that talks about really, really basic topics like human fundamentals, love, work, relationships, society, but gives such interesting explanations that take into consideration how humans have changed after the industrialization and the decrease of religion and so on. And he explains something like love, a topic that we think about basically every day in every context of family, partners, friends, dates, crushes, and so on. And he just changes your perspective on it. And this book really has changed something in me. That's why I want to quickly present it to you. By the way, this has been written, the original version, in 1956, and it's still as applicable as ever. So, main idea of this book is love is a skill, it's an ability, it's not a state, it's a process, something that you practice, and more importantly, something that you have to master. Love is active. It's about giving a part of yourself, your love, to someone or the world, and therefore kind of experiencing your own inner strength, because you really can only share of yourself if you are strong enough to bear it, right, because you're giving away. And this process also creates more love, because you love is helping someone grow and making them stronger, and then also giving them the capability to spread and share love. And therefore the definition of love in Fromm's eyes is nothing about I am receiving love or I am loved or I feel loved. It's all about I am loving others. And more importantly, I am capable of loving others. My love is able to produce love in others. So he talks about how love is not only caring about someone, taking care of them, taking responsibility of them, paying attention to them, respecting them, but also recognizing their innermost through connection. And that's a really important point of his. He thinks the prerequisite to love, why we even care about that stuff, is that we as humans strive to connect with the world we live in. That we get thrown into this world and it's all chaos, and we're like, what the fuck is this? And we strive to connect to all of it, to kind of understand it. And his idea is that love allows us to do that, but only in a certain way. Love can be destructive and hurt you, like your innermost core, if you don't practice it correctly. And the correct way to experience love is to connect to someone from your inner middle while living your true self, and while your partner, while the person you want to love is doing the same. You're both coming from your own inner middles. You are yourselves, your true selves, and coming together and sharing this connection. And this is the only love worth striving for in Fromm's mind. But for that, you kind of have to have understood yourself. You need to know what is driving your own love and the ways you love inside you. Because, and this is his fundamental definition of love is a way to make your partner live their true self, be their true self at any time, giving them the freedom to be their own and supporting them on their way, and receiving that from them in return. So, this also means then that love will never be a place that stands still or rests. It will constantly be challenging and will be something that you have to work on, because the both of you will be constantly working on being yourselves, and the clash of these two spheres, making that work, um, being yourself, but also making your partner be yourself, and go through this process together. So love will always be work. I think one of his great quotes that he says is, "You love for what you put an effort in, and you put an effort in for what you love." He also then goes into more detail about prerequisites for loving someone, that you kind of have to believe in your own love, and you have to believe in love in itself, and that it creates more love. Like, you truly have to believe that love is something good and that people love each other. And also that love is capable of creating love, and that this will prevail. Um, this book also has way more to offer. These are just the main points. Um, he talks about where he gets these ideas from, how there are like different shapes of love, and that all of this has kind of changed after industrialization, and that we had like these primary connections to nature and religion, and kind of how all of this has decreased. And now we try to find this more in people, but also people are spreading further and further apart from each other. Um, and he also talks a bit more on like personal check marks that you have to have crossed in order to be able to love. Personal narcissism and learning to truly know yourself, like stopping distractions and that kind of stuff. Stuff that we hear nowadays at all times, but he was talking about this like 70 years ago. And my last point is, this book is 200 pages, but life changing. It's crazy. It's an art in itself to be able to formulate several ideas about such a vast topic, such as love, and then give grounded arguments for these ideas and formulate it so briefly and pointedly. And that's it. That's my review. Thank you so much. Please read this book. It's amazing.